Good morning, internet, interwebs, and all the lovely infrastructure that brings us, well, oh, my hand. Yes, brought to you by The Hand. Yeah, so I was talking to you for about 20 minutes, 5 minutes ago. That was, I think, take 2, or the second attempt at this, and this would be take 3. Today has been brought to you by the number 3. 3 blind mice. Yeah, as you can see, there seems to be the 6 angry ferrets in my head are obviously arguing on who's in control. And I keep telling them I'm in control, and they say since when. So, yeah, there we go. 6 angry ferrets are telling me what to do. And they're not quite angry, they're kind of just active. Very active, we'll just put it that way. And the other activity is we just got a new puppy. Mainly because it took us a couple months to get over the loss of Samson the Large. On my Instagram, he was in a couple of pictures, but we were watching a friend's dog. The friend's dog, accidentally injured him because he was an old man, and within 2 days, his kidneys had shut down. He couldn't walk anymore. And I'm sorry, but it's hard to carry around a 75-pound lap dog, who can't even control his own bowels. So, and here we go. The crosshair kiddo was sneaking up behind me, but isn't now. Alright, well, either way. So, talking to you this morning, we have some points. And what's my point? I'm not entirely sure. Yes, I'm rambling. Yes, I'm just saying what's on my mind. Because I am the sun is beating down. It is definitely feels like midsummer on Long Island. Early morning midsummer Long Island. But the problem is that I'm in Montana. And in a couple weeks, we may see snow. So if you want, Bear is our new pup. I'm going to swing the camera around. And hopefully you can see Bear out there by the plum tree. I think that's the plum tree. I forget which ones are which. Either way, that's Bear. And he's the new household edition. So he takes a lot. He's taken a lot of time and care and loving interest, and it is kind of nice to have a puppy around the house. Right now, in about a year and a half, he'll be a good dog. Geez, my hand keeps getting in the way of the camera. My one hand gets in the way of the camera, my other hand gets in the way of the mic. This is one of those you can't win for losing kind of deals. So, I will say that today's message has been brought to you by our sponsor, Waffles. Pancakes leaving you flat. Waffles, the sexy pancake. And though, yes, it's a BS placement ad, the fact is one day I may actually have a sponsor. May have somebody sponsoring this particular broadcast other than me, footing the bill. And then that is, I'm footing the bill. And it is not easy to keep footing the bill and knowing that it's having no real effect. Like, I shut down one of my websites because in 3 months I couldn't get it to even garner a single sale. So I had to do something, right? So anyway, with that being said, I have to say what's on my mind, and what's on my mind is Awaken Enterprises, because we awaken enterprises. And honestly, we do, because I've helped friends with their businesses, and all my input has always helped them, but I never actually went into making a consultancy out of it. I just, helped friends out. But I think I'm getting to the point where I'm going to start consulting, because it is a positive flow income stream with a low overhead. I've already got a good vehicle, nice vehicle to transport myself in. It's a nice Ford F-250 in good condition. I also have a vehicle that is not as pretty looking, my gray Ford F-150, but I have access to the blue F-250, and she's a pretty truck. Got nice little side runners and everything. But we're going to get magnets for the doors and whatnot. But in the run of things, it's just difficult to keep pushing forward and not feel like I'm having some effect. When you throw a stone into a pond, you're hoping to see some ripples. And I just don't see the ripples. Now, maybe it's because it's rough seas and I can't see the ripples for the waves, but fact is, it's sometimes nice to know that you're having an effect. And it's a hashtag, overcome is my primary, it's my singular word. It's what's your one word? Evan Carmichael asks that question a lot. What is your one word? My one word is overcome. I overcome whatever circumstances are put before me. You want to put before me destitution? I will rise. I will overcome. I do not fail in that department. If you want to put before me, the cacophony of choices, I will work my way through the noise, because I know what I'm looking to do. And long run, every project plays into the next one. And that is important, that each project plays forward into the next project. It's not that they're individually exclusive. It's like StormCastle Computing. We've made the Mind's Eye Tower. The Mind's Eye Tower is actually, it's a project I've been trying to keep under wraps, but there's just no point anymore. The Mind's Eye Tower is actually a computer with two brains. And the reason being is because now for 2 years I've been live streaming off and on. I've been recording my gameplay to produce for videos for YouTube, etc. So the question at that point is, what have I been doing with my time with this Storm Tower Computing and Mind's Eye Tower? The Mind's Eye Tower, for one, it's a VR-ready machine. And in the process, I do believe it is going to become the gateway drug. The gateway drug to commercially viable VR. And when we look at things, commercially viable VR is good 10 or so years off. But it's just like everything, there's an entry point. And I think the Mind's Eye Tower is that entry point. The reason I believe so is because we put two brains in it so that to pull the burden off the primary brain, because as games become more and more complex, yes, we've had to go from using the processor for graphics for 8 or 16-bit graphics to eventually 32 and 64, and now we've got 4K graphic video and photorealistic graphics, and that's all handled by a graphics card. Well, graphics cards are able to put out VR to the right kind of VR equipment. But if you have the right graphics card and the right processor, then you're talking Major League Gaming level equipment. And that is what the base of the Mind's Eye Tower is Major League Gaming equipment. The second brain is worked in with a capture card, the same way that my second laptop is actually helping me stream by taking the burden of like OBS or something else off of my primary system and putting it on a secondary system, using a capture card to split out the image and transmit it to the internet, as well as archive a copy. And this process is going to allow you to live stream straight out to the internet and create an archive copy of that, which is great for live streamers, gamers, and whatnot. And since it's Major League quality of play, it'd be a great training tool for Major League Gaming teams. The other advantage is that it automatically is allowing them to stream. We're also going to provide a separate streaming box for those who have systems and they just want the streaming capacity to ease the burden on their primary computer. We will be providing the streaming box. But the idea is that you take the burden off of one thing and let something else carry that burden to make it easier on all the processors so they don't get as hot, they don't burn out as often. And it seems that Bear is tearing some of the cardboard off the bottom of the tree, around the bottom of the tree from when we planted it. But, sorry, got distracted. The Mind's Eye Tower, though, the whole concept is that it will expedite live streaming. Well, that is fine and dandy and wonderful and beautiful. What we really need to do is toss that ball out there and really the entry level for the complete system. Now that includes all the MLG gear. It includes the headsets, the keyboard, the mouse, which, if I remember correctly, are all Razer components. I think the monitors and Asus, and then all of the tower. So it is a plug-and-play system. That whole system will go out the door to you for $77.50. But when you consider a 2K or better monitor and the headphones and the Death Adder keyboard, I paid $150, almost $150 for my Death Adder keyboard. So, you know, the Death Adder keyboard, the Razer gaming mouse, all wired, by the way. Those are wired, not wireless, because wired, you don't have that ping moment of the wireless transmission to the computing power to the internet and lose that 100th of a second here and 300ths of a second there. No, they're all hardwired. The monitor and you know, it's ready to go straight out of the box. That is the thing. And for those people who want to be like YouTube famous and think they have the personality to do it, this is the system for them. This is the system for the $77.50. Huge step in, though. You know, for a lot of people, and I understand that. But it's like, go large, go home. Honestly, some people have the innate talent and innate personality to be that next YouTube famous person. I'm working on YouTube popularity. But, you know, like I'm that orange tree in a field of green trees, and unfortunately my tree's not as tall as the sea of trees around me. And so, you know, me and my 21 subscribers on one channel and 50 subscribers on another and 1 subscriber on another, and yeah, you know, I'm scattered all over. And then the people who follow me on Minds.com, and then the people who follow me on VidMe, and the people who follow me on, you know, the other channels I'm on, like let's see, Dailymotion. This will automatically go to Dailymotion because I'll be posting a video, not a live stream. My live streams don't get posted directly to Dailymotion, but my actual videos do. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to keep talking about it. This is the hustle and struggle. When we're about to start a Kickstarter. And the Kickstarter is going to make available the first 100 units of the Mind's Eye Tower. Okay. The advantage there is that we'll be able to, as the Kickstarter brings out the first 100 units, we will then have a 6-month moratorium on sales. Reason being is I want my first 100 purchases to have 6 months to truly go through their system and put it through its paces. Find out what it's great for and what it's not as great for. Find out what its benefits and deficits are. Try to give input before I roll it out. But the whole idea, and I talked to a friend of mine, Justin Lane, who, as I understand it, was a big, in his time in the Halo scene. But, you know, him and I were talking about it, and we're gonna put an incentive program in for people who buy the Mind's Eye Tower as early adopters. Early adopters of this technology will actually have the ability to have a code that can be entered at checkout that'll save their follower, their subscriber, their whomever they hand this code out to, friends, family, however it works out. They'll save them $250 on the system, and then the person who referred them will get $250. So, and you know, that is a blessing beyond compare. Plus, the early adopters will have a $750 discount on the first price. They will actually be able to buy the entire system, lock, stock, and barrel, for $7,000. And well, that's the announcement there for StormCastle Computing. StormCastle Computing. Have fun storming the castle. And then there's with the Mind's Eye Tower. And then we also have our fingers stirring in Nowhen University. And I'm getting the class curriculum ready to be able to speak to your average 14 to 25-year-old, to teach all those subjects that, you know, are difficult to grasp on good days and maybe far difficult to grasp on good days. And with that, I am... Oh, now he's found a bottle. Found a water bottle we left out there for him to play with. So anyway, that is going to be a big acting gig for a lot of people. I'm going to need about 10 or 15 actors plus costuming, and we may Kickstarter that one as well. But right now, it's just an idea, but an idea without execution is bupkis. And so we're about to execute on this idea, and as well as Mind's Eye Tower. Now they're going to go together hand in hand, because good learning and VR learning, I think, are going to become interesting bedfellows. We'll just say it that way. And when it's all said and done, I think everybody will be amazed at how chapped my lips are now. They'll be amazed at how these projects have come together. And when I do finally make a dent in the computer scene, people will all of a sudden realize that the Mind's Eye Tower, patent pending, is really going to be a good setup, a really good setup. The original idea was worked out between myself and a friend Eli, and I've been working with it for 2 years using externalized components, and what we've decided to do is internalize all the components, so that way it's less cord hassle for everyone else. With that being said, I am the Illuminarch, Michael Conway, and peace out. Peace out to you today. Peace out to you tomorrow. Peace out to you always. And as always, peace out.